back to the second episode of Kintertainment. I'm Kyra Bell. And I have my friend Michael with me today. This is my friend that I was talking about last time.
What's
Everybody
up,
say hello, Michael. Michael say
hello
hello to every. No, they can't. They could not reply, but you know, I had put my teacher voice on. Yeah. So today we're gonna be talking about a show called The Wonder Years. It's a very good show, like based in the 60s, about a black family, but it is a remake of another show with the exact same name, right?
Same show. All they changed was the race.
Okay, so did you watch the older show? Can you tell us about that show?
So the original show is exactly the same, except it's about a white middle class family. His name is not Dean though. I forget what his name is, and Keesa's name isn't Keesa. It's a different name. Like they changed the name. Yeah, they changed the names, but the concept of the story is pretty much the same, which is a young kid growing up in suburbia in the late 60s, early 70s, and just how his life and his family evolves over time. But pretty much it's the same. The older sister, Bruce being a war veteran, like it's all pretty much.
Oh, I was just making sure I turned the mics back on. I'm sorry.
It's all right. But yeah, that's pretty much it.
That show started airing in the 80s. And it was about the 60s, just like this one was? Okay, so yeah, same concept, just different race.
Yes.
Why do you think they call it The Wonder Years?
That's a good question. I guess it's because those are just years you're figuring things out you don't really have the answer to because you're very young. So you get it as time progresses. Because even in the newer version, you hear him say, it was 10 years before I realized what my dad meant by X, Y, and Z. So those are years you're often trying to figure out what certain things in life mean. And this is my interpretation. I'm not sure if that's exactly true, but that's what I feel.
So at first I was like, they call it the Wonder Years because like life was so wonderful at that time, but it couldn't have been.
Yeah, they were in Mississippi.
Yeah, I know. No, they were in Alabama.
Oh, even worse.
Yeah, but no, like that's why I was like, no, that can't be it. But like, I think of it as like, oh no, it wasn't. I was going to say that it was wonderful for me when I was at that age, like 12, but no, it wasn't. It wasn't.
Let's unpack that.
I was, 12, 13. I remember, okay, so like my middle school years, I was happy, but I just remember like everything was like so monotone for me. Like I was just like, I don't care, like, But I remember I had tried out for cheerleading and I made it. I was so shocked. So I was a cheerleader in 7th and 8th grade, and I was happy about that. I was happy about a lot of stuff, but I don't know. Like I think like in middle school, I used to try to like have a deep voice. I used to try to be like, like I think I just used to try to be like emo. I don't know. No, for real. So that couldn't be why I was called the Wonder Years, and I did not have just the most wonderful time. But it was okay. I mean, it wasn't bad. It was just there. And then you see that picture right there. I was 13 in that picture. I was so ugly at 12 and 13. Seventh grade. I was kind of cute. I was feeling myself in 7th grade because I'm not gonna say no names, but it was this one boy that I had a huge crush on from like literally kindergarten to 5th grade. And that's I don't know. I don't know what. I really hope that text didn't interfere with whatever we're recording. But anyways, I liked him for that long, and then I stopped liking him. And then in 7th grade, he tried to talk to me, and I was like, because I look good now. But I was ugly, so I don't understand.
Maybe you look good then.
No.
You know, like a part of the time. No, yeah. Because you ever looked at, your parents would look at a photo and they'd be like, dang, I don't know what I was thinking. But back then they thought that was fly. So maybe you was fly for back then.
No,
just ugly.
I was fly. Like I used to dress cute. I do know that. I used to dress cute.
Okay.
And I used to always accessorize my uniform.
Okay, then maybe that's what it was.
Maybe. But I had acne bad. Like, in 7th grade, I think what it was like puberty. Like, I started getting boobs in 7th grade. I think that's why you liked me.
Okay. I'm sorry.
I mean, it doesn't matter. What was that age like for you?
My parents had just separated at that point, so it was different. Okay. We had just moved over here. I just started going to the school. That's kind of when I started meeting the majority of the friends that I have now. Aww. So it was good, I guess, figuring things out. Yeah.
That's nice. That's so cute.
Yeah.
Love that for you. For those of you who have not seen The Wonder Years, the main character was like 12-ish. She was in middle school. So that's why we were talking about middle school. So it's not really off topic. If you think we're being off topic, it's not off topic. But what made you start watching the show, Michael? Like, what made you, because you watched the original. So what made you start watching the original? Because you weren't born in the 80s, so.
No, I wasn't. Like period-based pieces. So like.
I was going to say that.
Yeah. So I like period-based pieces. That was one of, I think, how did I find that? Was it Nick at Night they used to play it? Some channel used to play it. And that's how I started watching it. I don't remember what channel that was, but it was the same channel that used to play like Different World and like Leave It to Beaver. It's probably TV Land. Oh
yeah, that makes sense. I used to like TV Land. What happened to TV Land? Is that still a channel?
I just don't think it's that good as it used to be.
I used to watch TV Land. But then again,
nobody has cable anymore.
Facts. I still do.
Oh,
but
okay. Well, the rest of us have moved.
But we don't pay for those channels anymore. So.
See, so there you go. But that's right. It's probably TV Land where I first found it. But I like period shows, like anything based in the past. I like to watch it, see how they do it. Those are the most expensive shows to make.
Yeah, because they have to find all the costumes, and then because I have a background in production.
Yes.
They have to use all this special lighting and special equipment. Then they have to find the things the phones that they used to use back then, the computers that they have to go find all that stuff, and that could cost a lot. And then just the lighting that you have to put up for all of that, and it's a lot. It's a lot.
And you also have to. I remember another show I used to watch. I learned that they have to hire etiquette coaches. Because how you acted in 1960 is not the same you would have acted today. Your body language would have been different. Your posture would have been different. How you sat in a chair would have been different than how we sit in a chair now. And all those things you take into detail when doing a show. So they're spending a lot of money to make sure there is accuracy to what they're producing, which is crazy.
Okay. That's interesting. My Apple Watch just recorded what you said. I don't know why.
Proud of that.
That's weird.
It was a gem. I guess they dropped it.
Whatever. Yeah. But I started watching the show. I didn't watch the original. I don't care about the original. But I started watching the black version when I don't know. Oh, this is why. So this is the ABC 13 household. We watch ABC 13 for the news and all that. So they had commercials because it comes on ABC. In case you guys didn't know, but
I didn't even know
it's also on Hulu.
That's how I watch it.
But yeah, I saw the commercials and I was like, oh, cool. I also am a big fan of period pieces. And I don't know, I was just cool. And I just remember he said he was in the 1960s or whatever. And I was like, my mama was born in the 1960s. And I don't know, I guess I just wanted to see, get an insight of her upbringing. But my mom was born in 1964 and he was in middle school in 1960. So it's kind of different.
40-something?
Yeah, so it's kind of different. But still, I like the show. I really do. The older brother, I was so happy to see him in that show because he was on All American.
Yeah, he's a good actor. He's on another show too. I can't think of it, but he's a very talented.
He was on. Was he on BMF?
I think that's what he was on.
But I think it was for a short period of time.
No.
Or Raising Kanan. Was it Raising Kanan or BMF?
Google it, y'all figure it out.
We can do that. What's his name?
You're asking a lot of questions.
Okay, so first we're gonna Google the Wonder Years. Wonder Years.
Cast.
2022, yes. Wait, did it just? Oh no, it started in 2021. I was going to say, did it just come out last year? But it came out in 2021.
5 minutes later.
We can't find him. But I don't even. What were we trying to find him for? We were trying to figure out what else he, and we were trying to figure out what else he was on. But yeah, he was in All American and some more stuff. So I was very excited to see him on there because I saw him in All American and I felt like he deserved more.
Yeah.
And he's on here, and even though he's not really on here a lot, but it's good to see him in something else. There was something. Oh, so let's talk about the season.
Yeah.
So it first started with, because in the first season, Dean and his dad was going to New York to record a song for Marvin Gaye.
Mm-hmm.
So Dean's dad, Dean is the main character again. Dean's dad is a musician, and he used to be in this band.
Spencer Moore the second.
Spencer Moore the second. Okay,
Yeah.
so now
Yeah.
we need to. That's the brother's name.
That's the brother's name. Keep going with your question. I'm sorry to interrupt you.
Well, now I'm Googling, so it's gonna have to wait. Spencer Dwayne Moore the second. Oh, he's young. He's younger than us, just by a year.
I was gonna say that sounds sad. Yeah.
Oh, he has. Oh, he was in 13 Reasons Why. He was in Creed 3. I haven't seen Creed.
Yeah.
3.
Well, I did know that.
He wasn't in BMF or Raising Kanan. It was just All American. I swear he was in something else and they just not crediting him
You
for
know what
it.
it is? He looked like a homeboy from BMF.
Ooh.
The one who played no, I'm bad with names. The one who was sleeping with Lala.
They don't, but I would be able to tell them apart because I pay attention.
Oh, I don't.
I do.
Shots.
I'm not saying you don't, but I do. I do. But anyways, back to what I was saying. So, season 1 ended with Dean's dad going to New York to record a song for Marvin Gaye because he's a musician, and yeah, I think he wanted to take the mom too. Like it was supposed to be him and the mom going, but then
she wanted to take the daughter to college or on college tours.
I don't really remember, but somehow Dean and his dad ended up going to New York. So that's how season 2 started. They was in New York, and Dean was getting bullied by people, and then this man, he was actually a drag queen, came to his rescue because he's used to being bullied. And the person who played him was the dude from Unbreakable Kimmy Schmidt. Have you seen that show? Well, it's very like funny. Titus Andronicus, I think that was his name in Unbreakable Kimmy Schmidt. That was the drag queen in this season 2, episode 1. And so yeah, he like came to his rescue, was helping him out, and then the dad was having a hard time getting his music played for Marvin Gaye. And then what was it that finally made him like get in the room with Marvin?
The fashion, the look.
Oh yeah, the drag queen helped him out with his
they
look.
kept thinking he was a square.
Yeah,
because he didn't dress like the kids of the day, and so he didn't dress very hippie. Like he didn't dress colorful. He was very much so 1950s dad. You know, collared shirt, pants, and loafers. And so he helped him establish a look, and it was like all of a sudden it was like, okay, let me hear what you're saying because you clearly might be saying something.
Okay, so yeah, that's how that happened. What was on the second episode? I remember that being the first episode, and then I remember the sister started going to her daddy college classes because the dad was also a music professor at a college,
and he also had a jazz band.
Yeah, but he left the band in season 1, right?
He still played though.
No, because on the season finale,
No, he was mad because they took the rewards. But he still played because remember the other episode before that when the dad came when the brother came to visit, which is a funny story. That's what I'm named after.
Malcolm.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, with the brother. Wait, hold on. Let's just back.
That was the episode before that. Yeah. So
Yeah.
he played. They called him on stage to play at the jazz club when they all went to the jazz club. So he still plays outside.
Yeah, but he's not a part of the band because they went on tour without him.
But he still plays.
Yeah, but he's just not a part of the band.
I never said he was a part of the band. You said
I
that.
said that he's not in the band anymore.
So who you fighting, yourself?
No, I said he's not in the band anymore. You're saying like,
But
like
he
you
still plays.
But okay,
Like, what are you talking about? He still plays. Does he now?
I guess,
Someone
child,
tweet that.
whatever. Oh, the second episode was when they. So at the end of the first episode, they went back home to Alabama. Wait, because I thought that said Mississippi, but they were
Because someone got arrested. Because the aunt came in town, right?
Yes,
Yeah,
the aunt came in town.
Yeah. And they got arrested because she stole her boyfriend's car. And they was trying to go to a concert or something like that.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And then, so they come back. So Dean and his dad, Bill, his dad's name is Bill. They come back in town and they are, Dean, because in the last season he kissed Keisha.
Right, so they was low-key dating while homeboy was gone.
Yeah. Keisha's like his best friend who's a girl, and he always had a crush on her, but he was always scared to tell her.
Mm-hmm.
And I think they only kissed him last season because it was like a disaster happened or something. Remember that flooding in a
thunderstorm
barn?
or earthquake or
Something
like that.
Earthquakes happen in Alabama.
They don't happen either.
Yeah, so I don't think they have it. But it was like a thunderstorm or a tornado.
A tornado, that's what it was. Yeah. Tornado.
Yeah, so they had kissed and then they had like a little relationship. But when they kissed, she was dating his best friend.
Mm-mm.
Yes. Corey. She was dating Corey. Corey is his best friend. Yes, she was.
No, she was dating a football player. It wasn't his best friend.
Name is.
It wasn't the best friend.
Yeah, she was dating the football player.
Yeah.
She was dating the football player.
I said, Dean ain't that grand.
And Dean became friends with the football player.
Oh, yeah.
And I think Dean actually put them two together. Like, he wasn't trying to, but he did.
I think he did on accident.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. They had kissed, and then when he came back, they was back kissing again. Like, they was doing a lot
They was
for
on the
12-year-olds.
They was doing sneaking around.
and Dean had joined the football team.
Mm-hmm.
And the dude was on the football team, and the dude was like looking out for him, but Dean just felt so bad.
And then I think he found out that Keisha was cheating on him, but he didn't know who it was. He thought it was with another player, which I think is cool.
It's Dean. No,
The
no, not the white boy. It was a little short black.
Oh yeah, the little bitty one.
So Dean had told the football player that the dude that Keisha was cheating on him with was one of his other friends, which is a little short little guy, and it was so funny. But yeah. Then he finally confessed.
Because the little boy was about to get beat up. Funny.
And then the third episode was about the sister trying to date one of the dad's college students because she had like this off period for her senior year, and her mom was like, "You need to go to the college and take up a class since you got all this time on your hands." She was a real black mama. Like,
I like her. Lillian?
I like her too.
Yeah.
I like her too. And let's just go ahead and fast forward because all of these other episodes. I think my favorite was the fourth episode. Oh, the fourth episode was when Dean went to his white friend's house
I
for
was
the
in
first
love with
time.
his mama.
Yeah, so
yeah.
Okay, we can talk about that one because that was like groundbreaking.
Yeah.
So this is the 1960s, right? Integration is new. So black people weren't spending the night. Well, black people weren't going to white people's houses, period.
Yeah.
And Dean went to his friend's house. His friend was Jewish, and he spent the night. And they were trying so hard to like make him feel comfortable, and they was trying to like not be racist. Like they was literally walking on eggshells in their own house.
They were.
They were. And Dean, like, the mom was being so nice to him that Dean took it another way. And
yeah,
he's developed a crush on her.
Yeah, because I think she was kissing the son goodnight as she normally does, and she's like, I don't want him to think he's not special. Let me kiss him goodnight. So she kissed him goodnight on the lips, and he was just in love after that. he was in love after that. But that whole, I think the season also had another groundbreaking episode with the buying the house in the white neighborhood.
Oh yeah,
that was a good one. I don't know what episode that was.
It's later.
Okay, yeah,
I think. Yeah. Oh wait, no. Oh yeah. It's literally the next episode. No, it's the same episode.
Is it?
It's that same episode.
Oh, okay. Well,
so on the other side of that, the same episode on the other side, like Michael was saying, explain it because you were explaining it.
So I think Bill and Lillian have friends that they actually work with as well. I can't remember their names.
That was Corey's parents.
Corey's parents. So Corey's parents knew a lawyer, and the lawyer was trying to get them to integrate a white neighborhood. So at first he wanted Corey's parents to do it. Then when he met Dean's parents, he was like, actually, y'all are more of a fit. Y'all should buy a house in this neighborhood. So basically he was wanting them to integrate this neighborhood, be the first ones there to live there. And it was like, it was groundbreaking. It was interesting. Even the fact they were fighting over it.
Yeah.
And the house was ugly too. Let's just be very honest.
I don't
compared to, I can't remember it. compared to the house they lived in, like the house was ugly. But yeah, good episode.
Yeah, it was a good episode. And like, but they found out that the realtor, because the realtor was
black.
like
a scam or something.
Yeah,
like that,
it was
right?
a scam
to get the white folks to buy out. What is that called?
I was just gonna say there's a name for it.
I don't know what it's called, but yeah, basically get them to sell quickly so that they could flip the whole neighborhood. So he would then be selling the house and buying the house, getting double commission. Yeah, I forgot what that's called.
Not Ghostbusters.
I don't know.
I don't know what it's called. Yeah. But the realtor, what was his name? Because I love him as an actor.
Isn't he on the? He on a hospital show, right?
Yes, not Grey's Anatomy, but I think it's General Hospital.
I think so. Yeah.
But they don't make new episodes of that, do they?
I've never watched the show to begin with.
I don't think they make new episodes of General Hospital. What is his name? He was also on Waiting to Exhale.
The Son.
Yeah.
Yeah, The Son.
What is his name? He was on Remember the Titans. That's one of my favorite movies. And I think that was the first time I saw him.
Okay. Let's unpack that.
Remember the Titans is one of my favorite movies. I just really love like older movies and shows that showcase like blackness, but like how it used to be. I don't know. I guess because I do like history, I've always been so fascinated like by the older times. I love Remember the Titans. I was like when I first got Disney Plus. I think that was the first movie I watched.
When I first got Disney Plus, first thing I watched was Hamilton. That's the reason why I got Disney Plus.
I watched it.
I don't even think it was my subscription. I think it was somebody else.
I feel like it was Amari's.
Oh, that might make sense.
What's that dude's name?
Denzel.
No.
His name.
Donald Faison. What's so funny? What's so funny? That's his name.
All right.
He been in a lot of stuff. Like I love him as an actor. Probably because I've seen him in so many things. Juice? He's in Juice?
I don't remember seeing
I don't remember that. Google does not be like putting all your credits because I know he's been in a lot more stuff. Because from this list, I've only seen Remember the Titans, Waiting to Exhale.
I knew that he was in Clueless.
I knew that he was in Clueless too, but I feel like it's more stuff that I've seen him in that's not on this list. Anyways, Donald Faison was the realtor who was doing the sketchy stuff. But I was happy to see him too. And then let's go back. What was the episode after that? Leave me alone. Oh, the episode. Okay, so the episode after that, this episode I liked so Patti LaBelle was on the episode after that, and Patti LaBelle is Bill's mom. She plays
the
Bill's
grandmother,
mom,
yeah.
Dean's grandma, and she was the choir director at the church. And what happened?
They thought she was mean, so I think she asked Lillian to come on stage. I think she was sick.
She was sick, and Lily, and I think she used to lead all the songs because, of course, if Patti LaBelle was gonna be on the show, she gonna sing, and she asked Lillian to come
cover for her.
Yeah, because Lillian was singing around the house, and Lillian can actually sing. Lillian is the mom. I don't know if we ever said that, but Lillian is the mom, and she actually sing. And then she went to choir rehearsal, and then they was telling her, Patti LaBelle had asked her to fill in, and all the choir members was telling her like how they don't like Patti LaBelle. She's so mean, and she tried to she tried to make it better for them.
Yeah.
And then they ended up making her the new choir leader. and what?
Then they stopped showing up.
Oh yeah, then they started not liking Lillian because she had
up.
too many rules.
Yep.
And Patti LaBelle tried to warn her. She was like, well, I'm like this for a reason, and you can't if you try to change it up, they gonna hate you too.
Exactly.
And that's exactly what happened.
Yeah.
But I liked that episode because if you don't know, I'm a church baby, and it just brought back so many memories. And where there's a choir, there's drama. And what's funny, never mind.
What? Is this not a safe space?
Maybe not.
Okay. Well, that's all I used to say.
But literally, in every choir, there's drama. Why is the choir the messiest?
I'm sure.
Why is the choir the messiest place?
It's been a while since I've been in a choir.
Was it messy?
I don't think the kids' choir was that messy.
Because they kids.
Okay,
You were never in an adult choir? Oh.
I stopped singing after a long time ago.
Okay.
That was not my ministry. I had to quickly learn.
Okay.
I need a pamphlet. Let me pass that out.
I loved that episode.
Trying to think, what else is a good one? I like the last episode. I did like the Austin. Oh, the episode before that, where the girl was pregnant, the cousin.
Oh yeah, I liked that one too.
That was a good one. I actually like that one a lot. They was in that little hole in the wall shooting. He was shooting dice.
He was. But so I'm not gonna hold you. I watched these, but I wasn't fully paying attention. But I was watching.
Yeah,
so,
he was in the hole in the wall shooting dice.
So after the Patti LaBelle episode, it was an episode about Dean wanting to join the club. He wanted to do something else besides football.
Oh, he joined theater.
Yeah, he joined theater. And I don't know if it was
Peter
because...
Pan.
Was it because he wasn't good at football, or...
No, I think he couldn't be in football because what happened with him and, oh boy. And that was...
Oh, yeah.
That's
so he had to find a new hobby.
New.
So he joined theater. Which... I mean, that was real regular. Kids tried to make fun of him because he was Peter Pan. But also...
The girl in there. Keep going.
Oh, yeah. The white girl had a crush on him. And it was funny at the end. So he was in theater, and it was a whole bunch of white kids. It wasn't really any black kids with him. Yeah, they were all white.
Theater,
yeah, they were all white except for him. And this white girl was, because she was trying to help him develop his character and everything. And then they had a performance in front of the whole school, but Dean backed out. He froze up and
he didn't
left.
walk on stage.
Yeah, because he saw everybody laughing at the other kid, so he didn't go do his part. And then the theater club got really mad at him, and then he went back and apologized. And the white girl was the first one to say that everything was okay, but then they started showing how she had a crush on him, and the mama. Do you remember what she said?
I remember she showed up to the door at his house, and she said, "Hello." I let this go on long enough. Hello, little white girl with no white witnesses and no white parents. Why are you at my door?
Yeah. She let her know we not finna do that out here because we not finna die and my son not finna go to jail or die for you. That was funny.
And then I think at the end she said, "Hello again, little white
girl with all these white witnesses
and your white parents. We will see you at school tomorrow."
She was like, y'all ain't finna say it was me.
Exactly.
Y'all ain't finna say it was my family. Nope. But also in the episode, Dean's brother wanted to vote for a Republican.
Oh, which shook
his dad.
Daddy, yeah.
But let's talk about that because in the 90s, Black Republicans were like a thing, like, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
So where did the shift come from? Because this was the 60s, and Dean's dad didn't want to vote for a Republican. Like, that was a no. So how do we go from Republicans, Black people are not Republicans, to 30 years later, Black people are Republicans, to 30 years later, Black people are not Republicans again?
That's a good question. A good question I actually never studied. But I'm going to go on a whim. I could be wrong. Hopefully no one leaves any comments that says actually you're wrong, because I could be wrong. I just think it's a lot to do with education and wanting to be like your counterparts. You know, you get enough money to where you're just like them and you have that wealth, and it's like, you know, that may benefit you to be a Republican, depending on what your views are. I mean, I think a Republican in 1990 and a Republican in 2023 is two different people, if we're being completely honest. You can even hear them talking amongst themselves as two different kind of Republicans these days. So I think that they're more so, in the 90s, were geared towards money, like keeping their money, making sure they're okay, they're producing more money for themselves, and they're kind of like getting, I think that was more so their kind of end game then. Of course, they always had that hint of no abortions and stuff like that. Like that was always there, but I think but I think that their main core back then had a lot to do with money, and I can see how somebody would relate to that. If you have a lot of money, of course you want to protect your money. So I'm thinking that had to do with a great deal of that. But also social media is also very targeted, so we may think that it was big, and it may not actually be that big as it was. Just depends, you know. Especially then, it was a lot more censored. You only had a certain amount of news stations reporting X, Y, and Z, versus now you have
everybody telling everything.
Reading every survey they read off of Google, and believing it's right. You know.
I wanted to ask you that because you're more into politics than I am. So, yeah, I'm not even going to cross those waters. I just remember
I don't want to cross those waters on this podcast because you can get into a lot when it comes to like the 60s, the 70s, especially in the 80s when it comes to like a lot of that can just, it's a rabbit hole you can run down.
I just remember,
Not blank.
No, I didn't go blank, but I just thought about something. But we'll talk about it later. I just remember as we were talking about this, I remembered how in Sister Sister, when Ray ran for Senate or whatever, he was running as a Republican.
And he's also very wealthy.
Was he very wealthy or was he middle class?
I think he was very wealthy. He ran the limo business. They had a very big house.
He was a business owner.
But he had a very big house.
Yeah, but I think the business owner aspect of it is the part where we might see him to be
that,
wealthy.
And he was also very conservative. He was very traditional. He fit the stance of. I mean, if you read Ray's description on a paper and you didn't see him, you would not believe he was black.
You may have a point. You may have a point.
You know, you wouldn't. You'd be like, oh, this is not a black man.
Yeah.
Ray Campbell.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And his real name is probably Raymond. So like,
what if it was Ray Nail?
That would be something.
Wasn't there a Ray Nail on the show though?
Ray Nail's barbecue. It was on a different world.
No, there was a Ray Nail on. I don't know if it was a joke, like if Lisa made a joke, but there was a Ray Nail on Sister Sister. Somebody go find it.
don't recall.
Somebody gonna find it. But yeah, that happened, and then on the next episode, I want to talk about the next episode so bad because I just watched it this weekend.
Okay.
So this is the episode where the mom Lillian she had to fire her friend. So
his name not Cliff, right? What's his name?
I think his name might be Cliff.
I can't remember, but yeah, I think it's Cliff.
Yeah, I don't remember his name, but so Dean and Corey are two friends from school. Corey's dad, who we think is named Cliff, we don't remember his name right now, but Corey's dad is he works with Dean's mom.
Actually, under Dean's mom.
Under her. Because Dean's mom, Lillian, is a boss. All right? Lillian has a master's degree, and she is the only black woman, I think, at that job. And she's in charge of everything. And the only reason why she got put in charge of everything is because
her actual boss was messing it up.
Yes.
Because remember he said something about like whoever did the numbers before was really screwed up your old boss, and she was like,
that was you, yeah.
But,
and like he kind of just like put her in the forefront so he wouldn't have to take the blame for stuff. But she actually does things right, so no bad stuff is gonna fall back on her. But yeah, she a boss, and I just loved that because everybody just wants black. Well, not everybody, but the black woman just kind of gets,
I do like that they kept it, because I've always had this conversation about how like everybody believes in the 50s and 60s that almost everyone was a housewife, and I'm like, majority of people were not housewives. They were working. And the fact is, I think she makes more than her husband, if I'm not mistaken. I think she makes more than
because he's a teacher.
Well, he's a professor at a college. But
still,
the
even
games you play.
But at that time,
no, but at the time that's true. She was working for the state.
Yeah, and he's not. He's probably not tenured.
No, he ended up being tenured last year. Because remember, that was the thing: does he stay and get tenure, or does he quit and go with the band? That was last episode of last season. He is tenure now. Oh, yeah.
I don't remember season 1, but I do what I do remember about season 1, which is what I want to talk about this episode about. She remember when Dean went to work with her and she had to eat alone, like like nobody really talked to her, and Dean went to work with her and he saw like how she was being treated at work. And like he felt bad for his mom, and so when he went back home and everybody was like, because the mom of the black household, because she got 3 kids and she got a husband, so she got to go to work and then she got to come home, take care of her kids, cook, clean, do all this. And when he saw his mom was getting treated at work, he came home and everybody was running up to her and he was like, give her a break. Yeah. So I like that. I like to see like both sides of that, because yeah. But even in this episode, they was mad at her.
They were mad at her for firing him, and it's like he not do. I think he said when he's like, let's run the numbers and see whose productivity is low.
And it was him.
Because
so this was how, and this is why it is just not a good idea to work with your friends, because he asked her, could he come in late one day? But then he came in late the day after. He was always leaving early.
And then he came and took an hour lunch.
Yes, he came later than he said, and then took lunch right when he got there.
Yeah.
And then, like, he wasn't doing his work. And like, this was days old work. Like...
And then he sued after he got fired.
Yes, he did try to sue. And it's like, this is like, and I feel like we are the only people who do that to each other.
That was crazy.
We are the only people who treat each other like that.
Yeah,
like,
that was wild.
Like, that's my friend. I can do whatever I want, and she gonna have my back. But the husband did bring up a good point that she should have communicated to
so she never said, I don't like you doing X, Y, and Z.
But we never want to talk to our friends and tell them, like, you ain't on your stuff. Like,
interesting point of view.
You were once a boss of your friends. Like, you consider your old Wingstop workers your friends, right?
That's rude of you to even say that. I mean, not say that they're my friends, but to even bring up my past like that. Well, I'm just kidding. I was like, please. No, yeah, they are my friends. It wasn't a struggle then, though, because I think they probably weren't much some of my friends then. Or at least they didn't view themselves as, I don't think. So, I think that was a little different. But it was hard. It was hard, because one actually was my friend. He came in as my friend. and he didn't do nothing.
Did you have to fire him?
No, I didn't have to fire him. But yeah, it is a little hard working with friends in that capacity. Working for friends in a business, especially one that's not yours, is hard because you can be like, you need to do this, that, and the third, but if they're not listening, it all falls back on you.
Yeah, because you're the boss.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, my girl Lillian, she was just trying to do what she had to do. And she really tried to find other ways. Because what she had to do was make the budget smaller. And so she tried to find other ways to do that. But her boss was like, you're going to have to let someone go. And she was really trying not to let it be him. And like she even told him to find somebody else that he could put it on. And he wanted to just put it on somebody that he don't like. But he was the weakest link.
Yeah, because I think the one he put on actually did a lot of good work.
Yeah.
Yeah. He wanted his spot.
Yeah.
And he wanted his pay.
Yeah, but then everybody at the company want to get mad at the black lady because she let the funny guy go, and it's like
his name is Cliff because the secretary said, "I want to get Cliffed." Remember?
Oh yeah.
His name is Cliff. Yeah.
And they just like the white people at the job just once again tried to isolate my girl.
Yeah.
And it's like okay, never mind. I ain't gonna say it. I'm not gonna say it.
Yeah, I think it's very hard, especially during that time, to be in such a position. And, like, you have to be serious about it. You can't be the one playing because they're going to always look at you. Because remember, she got her sister a job working with her.
Oh, yeah.
And her sister was joking and playing and laughing in everybody's face. And boss was like, yeah, you're going to have to get rid of her. So you had to fire her sister, too.
Dang,
this season was rough.
Yeah, it was. Okay, and then here comes your episode that you like when it was at the bar. It was Bill's dad's birthday.
Yeah.
So Patti LaBelle's, is that her husband? Because they don't her husband and Dean's grandpa. It was his 75th birthday. And his brother Melvin came back into town. His brother is Malcolm Jamal Warner. Who Michael is named after.
Well, it's supposed to be named after. The nurse put the wrong name.
Tell the people your birth story. Even though that was kind of it, but yeah,
that's really it.
Yes, because
my mom used to like the Cosby Show, so she loved Malcolm Jamal Warner. That was like her crush. So when she had me, I was supposed to be named Malcolm Jamar Akens, but the nurse put the wrong thing. She put Michael. But my grandma was like, leave it, because, that was my son's name. I had an uncle who passed away young named Michael, and so they were like, okay, keep it. This had to do with the name. Anyway.
Look at our friends being named after black icons on television.
Yeah, that's like...
Just like Lawrence from Insecure his real name was Martin Lawrence.
Oh, for real?
Not in real life, but on Instagram, his name was like Martin Lawrence. But he was like, don't tell nobody that.
Oh, yeah, I remember now. Wow, that's funny. I just rewatched the show.
I did too. And we need to talk about it. Because when I rewatched it, it just brought back so many things.
So many memories. I've always been rooting for Lawrence.
Here we go.
Wow, the hate for him is real.
Here we go. I don't hate Lawrence, but I was not always. The first time watching it, I was not always Team Lawrence. Watching it again made me more Team Lawrence. But I still got love for Daniel. But we don't talk about Insecure. We talk about the wedding.
Okay, let's do that. Let's get that.
Tell us about episode 9.
But it was funny. He had a birthday party. The brother surprised him, came in town with his daughter. So they went to show the dad a good time. So it's like angel and devil. So like Dean's dad was the angel. It's like, this is what the dad needs to do. This is who he needs to be. And then the brother's like the devil. Now let's go shoot dice. Let's go to this. Let's go do that. Blah, blah. So they basically are fighting the whole episode of like, who's the better son? Who can show dad a better time? Got to the point they was arguing the hole in the wall. And the bodyguard came and said, somebody complained about y'all need to get out. And they said, who? And said the man over there. It was their daddy. So he's shooting dice. He wanted to shoot it in peace. Which I'm not mad at. That's good. Yes. But it was a good episode. It taught brotherly love and also taught that the grass is not always greener, because at the same time, Lillian loved Melvin's daughter. And Melvin's daughter was like, oh, I want to go to college. I want to pledge. Because I think Lillian was a Delta or AKA.
She was an AKA, but they didn't say, like, they can't
really say.
Yeah.
Yeah. So in the show, Lily
So they called it something else, but the
colors
sweater
was-
she had on was
mhm.
pink and green.
Yeah. And so the cousin wanted to be just like the mom, like Lillian and all the things. And so it got to the point to where, what is the daughter's name? You don't know either.
I do know.
I'm bad with names. I don't know what she got going on, but I'm really bad with names.
I'm not. So I just started becoming bad with names. It's because I'm getting old.
Okay.
Kim.
So Kim. So Kim was getting like jealous, like mad that her mom was giving the cousin more attention. Come to find out the cousin pregnant. So I guess it kind of shattered both their worlds of like, hey, you know, the grass isn't always greener, and just because it looks good doesn't mean it is good. We all have our problems that we're going through in life. So that was like a good little episode. The last episode was actually really good too, but I think I like that episode the best out of all of them.
So when you said the grass is not always greener, because the brother was like rich.
Yeah, he was.
And I don't really know how he was rich. Did they?
They don't think they explained to me.
But in like Dean and his family, so Bill, he's with the dad more because they still live in Alabama, and the brother lives somewhere else. Like they live somewhere else. And he had actually, like when he came in, they was giving gifts, and I forgot what Bill bought him, but the brother bought him a car.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But he knows how to drive a car.
Oh yeah, because doesn't he kind of like have dementia?
Exactly, or blind or something like that. Because
Yeah.
the last season, he had issues. He wrecked the car.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he not supposed to even drive. I think that's how the argument started. But yeah. But you know what I do want to unpack?
What?
Bruce.
The brother, the big brother,
The big
Dean's
brother.
big brother.
Yes. Did you pay attention to him the majority of the season?
So what I remember about him was when he came. So he was in the military. Was this Vietnam? This was Vietnam.
This is Vietnam.
Which I mean, we're unpacking it. Which is like so. Like a lot of like older black men that I know were in the like army and stuff, and I'm trying to figure out if they were in Vietnam too. But some of those men are kind of old, so it might have been
That might be it because it was in the late '60s. That is, from what I know about a lot of the things that happened with that war is it came back with a lot of our soldiers being hooked on drugs, having PTSD, having a lot of issues mentally, and actually questioning who they are. So like, because at that time people were saying that this was a senseless war, a war that didn't need to be happening, and then like I think a lot of them came home and kind of questioned, did this war need to happen? Should we have been there in the first place? Which is very similar to a war that we just got out of a couple of years ago.
With the
I can't remember.
the Polish people? No, they're not Polish.
The Polish.
What are they? Who are those people?
They're not Polish.
But I'm close.
You no.
Yes, I am. Yes, I am close.
No.
I am.
No.
The people. I'm gonna look it up.
But
I'm close. Biden. Ukrainians. The Ukrainians.
That's actually not what I was thinking about. But no, this year we ended it like probably 10 years ago. Anyway,
Iraq.
Yeah, I think it was Iraq. They were saying like it was unnecessary.
Oh, it could have been.
I don't know. I didn't do too much research into it. But
I just thought it was get back for 9/11. I don't know though. I don't pay attention to politics.
It loves a good get back, don't they? Silently.
The only politics I was here for was Barack and them. Don't talk to me about that today.
I guess that's all we need.
And Martin Luther King and them, but I wasn't alive. But I love to see. You know.
Right.
I'm horrible. Like, okay, we gonna get back to what we was originally talking about, but I must put this out there. Like, I feel like people don't take me seriously because, like, I don't like talking about like politics and what's wrong with America, and even though I like I think I'd rather watch it on TV than to actually talk about it. Like,
why is it?
And like, because I think I can't articulate how I feel. I think. And like every time somebody wants to have just a serious, deep conversation, I'd be over it. I'd be like, let's just turn up. Like
that explains it because I think you did that a couple of weeks ago.
I did.
We were at a place.
I did.
You're like, I don't want to talk.
But I didn't say that. I didn't
Uh-huh.
say that because that would have been rude.
Mhm.
But I listened, and when somebody did ask me a question, I tried to answer to the best of my ability. But I just I don't know, and I don't know. I don't know, because when I'm at home and I'm thinking about the stuff, I'd be like, oh, I want to talk about it. I want to talk about it. I guess I think this is where it stems from. So in college, I was in a Black Lives Matter class. And we had to read
class?
Yes.
Okay.
It was a class. I was in the honors college, and we had seminars. One was called Black Lives Matter, and one was called White Privilege. And I mean, you could pick your seminars, but these were the two that I picked. And they used to talk they used to say all these big words and just have just say all of these things, and it was overwhelming for me. Probably because I really read the books. But that's not my fault. I had a lot going on. I had a lot going on, but I don't know. And I guess I just felt intimidated. I couldn't keep up with the conversation.
So you feel like.
But the point I was trying to make is don't think I'm not smart.
But I'm glad you said that, because I was gonna say, do you feel like you're not intellectually there when they have it? You can't meet them.
I
don't think you need to use all that verbiage, though. I think
that's another thing. Yeah, I feel that way too. I feel like we don't have to talk like this. We could talk how we talking now, and I can get my point across. But since so many people I feel like everybody be trying to be deep now, and we ain't got to do all that. I'm from around the way. Let's talk how we talking. Because I don't know what you're talking about when you throwing all the words up in there. Say it plain and clear.
And that might be the disconnect between us and regular people. And I'm saying us and regular people because I'm sad, but it's very hard for somebody who's standing on a platform, and then the person who's in the stand to understand them if you're using 1,000 big words that I never knew.
Yeah.
If I never went to college, if I never pursued anything higher than a high school diploma, how am I supposed to know some of these words?
Yeah.
And so I guess you do need some people at a level to where they can fully understand you and be on one accord. Because I could walk over and be like, oh, it sounded good. I don't know what he said.
Yeah.
Because it can be another language. It can almost sound like another language.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I literally used to be in the class what are they talking about? And it could have partly been because I didn't read them books. But
you probably should have read them books.
I probably should have. No, but they were
wasting money.
No, I did waste. Well, I still have the books, and I do plan on reading them.
Okay.
When
did you graduate?
Shut up. But it was just. I mean, I would I read parts of it, but I also in the books, the verbiage in the books was also very hard. I'll have to sit there and constantly have to keep reading to fully understand and Google words. And that was not my only class. I had 5 other classes. So yeah, but still, I still loved the class. But back to what we were talking about, because that was it wasn't off topic, but it was a little
off topic.
Yeah, but anyways, the brother was in the military.
Yeah, and I think that if he, through the season, even though he is not a main character, if you pay attention to what it is, you can see a moment where he's spiraling, and then a moment where he's trying to figure out.
He is trying to figure out who he is, and
dating that girl with the baby.
And he's still dating her, and they just broke up at the end,
which is probably for the best.
Yeah. Because who wants to date somebody
back
with
Republican?
A baby?
But again, his reason for back. His reason for backing the Republican was he believes in the veterans.
Oh yeah, because he's a veteran.
He believes in helping the veterans find resources, be better, find jobs, find housing. So he had a reason.
And didn't he say it was something about PTSD that he said in there? You don't want your friends to think that I'm crazy or something. Was that show, or am I making?
No, I think that is a show, something like that. And then there's another episode where they go to college, where Kevin's trying to go into this college party. And Bruce runs into his old friends, and they're asking what you doing, where you been up to, blah blah blah.
What episode was that?
I don't remember, because that's when Dean was trying to go see that R-rated movie.
What
You don't
episode
remember
was I do, but I'm trying to figure out what episode that was.
I don't remember what episode that was, but yeah, I remember Dean was trying to go see an R-rated movie. Kim was trying to go to that party. The deal was he was going to drive them there.
That was the episode with the house.
Oh, was it?
No.
No, that was the episode with the swingers. Let's get into that
Oh,
episode
yeah,
with
we
the
didn't
swingers.
talk about it.
We didn't talk about that
it.
episode with the swingers.
We skipped it. So Dean was he was doing good in music. He got an A in music class.
And his daddy's like, ain't no way.
Yeah, and the professor, it was a white professor, and so his dad went to the school and was like, I think you're like being too easy on my son. And then he became friends with him because the white man knew all the black music.
Of all the jazz musicians. Yeah.
And he invited him to this party, and the mom and the dad went to the party, and Lillian knew it was like a swingers party, and she was like, I want to be a part of this.
Because she saw Dean's teacher grab another woman's butt that wasn't his wife. And then and then it was like, oh, the hot tub is heating up. And she was like, well, me and Bill didn't bring our swimming trunks. She's like, you don't need them. And she said, oh, no. So she went to him. She's like, this is a swinger party. And they tried to lie and play it off.
Yeah.
And they was embarrassed, so they left. But she left her purse. And so he went back.
But I don't think she left her purse.
No, she did.
But I saw her okay.
Because he grabbed it out the closet. That's why he went back in the house.
But I think he grabbed a random purse.
Oh, they ain't
because okay, when she left, she had something in her hand.
It was her tray. I thought with the Jello.
I don't know. I'm gonna go back and watch it. Let me write that down.
Yeah.
Because I think she left it on purpose.
Okay, maybe so. But yeah, he went back to get that, and they was all naked, and he was like,
so this was because she had went off on everybody.
Everybody in the party, yeah.
And everybody's looking at her crazy, and she was like, "Okay, maybe we should just go." And then she left her purse, and came back, and then the dad went back in, and he saw everybody.
I guess she would have
naked.
took a purse because she told the woman she was gonna write her a check for that
Yes,
Tupperware.
she had her. Yeah.
Okay.
I think she made up something to make him go back.
And he never admitted that that's what that was. Yeah, because they all got home and everybody asked each other how their night was. And I was like, fine. And everybody went to their room.
But yeah, that same night, Dean wanted to go see an R-rated movie, but his sister wanted to go to a party. And I don't know how Dean ended up at the college with them.
Because Bruce was dropping off everybody.
Oh.
Because Kim wanted to use the car, but Bruce was already taking Dean. So he was like, I just drop y'all all off.
And I think he was trying to go to his girlfriend's house. And yeah, when he was at the college, he saw his friends, and it made him rethink his life.
Yeah, I think it made him feel bad about his life.
Because he didn't go to school.
Because he didn't go to school, and he wasn't doing anything. I think he was working at a grocery store or something like that.
Oh, maybe.
Something like that. But he walked away from there very, you could tell he was sad. And And then in the last episode where they go to Austin to look at the college in Austin, he then realizes he wants to go to school, So he kind of had a little evolution this whole season, which I didn't pay attention to in the original one. So I guess that shows something.
You can relate more. Well, not that you can relate. I mean, clearly you can relate.
Yeah.
But you can relate to that part because you did go to college.
I did.
And you're now working on your master's degree.
I am.
And I would like everybody to give Michael a virtual round of applause.
What is this, a Zoom call? Yeah. So yeah, I like that. And then even Kim with the whole decision of it's hard trying to figure out where she wanted to go. And that's crazy. We sometimes forget we have a choice. And she didn't want to necessarily go where her parents wanted to go. Because if they went to Tuskegee, she didn't want to go to Tuskegee. She wanted to go somewhere that was representative of her. Because, she was a little activist.
She was.
She a little activist, a little stylish activist doing her thing. Oh, and then she cried that one episode. She was dating that college boy.
Oh, yeah.
And she's like, why don't the good boys like me? I
feel that. I feel that.
Oh, look, Kim. That ain't know what to say.
Poor little Kyra.
Oh, okay.
I'm just playing.
It's funny. But yeah, this season was actually very good.
It was.
They didn't focus on Dean too much, I feel like. Or his friends. Last season, they really focused on him and his friends a lot. This season, they didn't really focus on him too much. Which I guess makes sense because this is a whole family. So to not incorporate the whole family. His big old self to he just want to go to Disneyland. You too old to be hollering about Disneyland.
No, because I want to go to Disney World. And I've been before, but I want to go back.
Well, I'll live in that moment again. mentally.
I would like to go back, and I want to go to Disneyland because I've never been to Disneyland.
Okay.
But I thought that was cute because at the end that they went to Disneyland, because isn't that like, I mean, I know going to Disneyland is not the American dream, but like that's kind of part of it.
I feel like it is.
And to see like the black family actually did get to do that. Now them driving all the way from Alabama to California was wild.
From Alabama to Austin to San Antonio, back to Austin to California.
To California
is wild.
Was wild.
Yeah.
But I mean, hey.
But that's why I think that even though I think that family is, I would consider them an upper middle class family.
Yeah. Because like, so bringing it back to something you said before, like that a lot of people think that most black women in the 50s and 60s were like housewives, like they didn't have no jobs. I think that was a privilege that family had because like my grandmothers were both domestic domestic people. Like they would go to white people's homes and like clean. So like, and that both of my grandparents' families were poor. So I think that's like a privilege, like basically what you're saying. Like so yeah, they are upper middle class.
It was a privilege, and I think that. See, we're gonna run on a tangent.
It's okay because we didn't. You really didn't get to talk about what you wanted to talk about with Vietnam either.
Okay.
We kind of.
Yeah, but even with that, like, if you pay attention to a lot of the people who did stay at home, I'm just gonna talk about black families. I'm not even gonna talk about white families. Talk about black families. The ones that were staying at home back then, a lot of them, they were depriving themselves of that income. They were struggling just to say that your wife can sit at home.
Oh, you're talking about the people who were able to?
The ones who were, a lot of people whose wives were sitting at home, some of them were still struggling. If you think about the black household, like we look at shows, perfect example, Good Times. What was her name? Florida, right? Florida stayed at home.
But is it because, like, could she have, I mean, I guess she could have got a job cleaning.
She could have got a job cleaning.
Because
her friend, her best friend worked. She ended up going, Florida, not Florida, what was it? Willona worked.
See, I didn't know that.
Yeah, one worked. So it just, I think that it was, I think most people chalk it up to that it was a.
Well, that's why they never made it out the ghetto.
You didn't hear from me. you didn't hear from me because even if you look at the white family, All in the Family was a TV show back then, which is what the Jeffersons stemmed from. All in the Family, his wife stayed home. But they were poor. If you saw that house, they weren't living on Easy Street. Like they were not living well. It's okay. It's okay. But like I think that we look back at that and we look at that as the end all be all, and that's what it needs to be. But at the end of the day, if you weren't wealthy, it wasn't the smart move to have your wife sitting at home. I just don't think, especially as the black, it deprived them of that extra money, which would have helped the family. And I get that. Oh, somebody needs to be there. Somebody needs to take care of the family. I get that, but also it's like. Y'all had nothing. So y'all is scraping up these things to eat and this money to do X, Y, and Z. And he's working himself to the bone and he's coming home angry.
And he's taking out on you. Behind.
I don't know if hopefully he wasn't doing that, but he definitely was giving attitude and anger and it just was not healthy. And so I think that we always look at one side of it. I'm like, there's a whole nother side to this that is not.
And even today, like yes, I feel like women should do what they want, but for me, like of course I never want to work. Like if
I'm not gonna. Okay, I can't say that on here, but I don't think that a lot of. I'm just not gonna say. Keep going.
So like if I won the lottery today, like if I won $1 billion, I'm never clocking into anywhere ever again. But like let's say I came across 100,000 and just decided, oh, I don't want to go to work no more. But then you got to think about, what about insurance? What about, and apparently there's ways to do all, like get insurance. But the average person doesn't know that.
Wait, get insurance? What do you mean?
I don't know, like, so like I kind of wanted to be an influencer at one point. I guess you could say I still do. But like, so I remember watching this vlogger, Aaliyah's Face, and I believe she's a full-time influencer, and I think like she had bought her car, like bought it in full, or it was something like very expensive that she put cash on basically. And I think she said that somebody said like she doesn't have insurance, and what is she gonna do about this? So it might have been her teeth, because I know she got her teeth done, and
she don't have like health insurance.
I believe so. It was a long time ago, and I could be getting it mixed up. But yeah, I feel like influencers don't have insurance.
Oh, but
like,
you can get insurance outside of a job.
That's what I'm saying.
I have insurance outside of a job.
Oh, well, see, I don't know how to do that.
Oh, I can help you.
Well, I have a job, so I have insurance. but that's what I'm. But like, I think she.
Talking about health insurance, like health, dental, vision, all that.
I believe so.
Yeah. Okay.
So she was saying like there
even
was
life, we can help you with that too.
Oh, okay. Thank you. So she was, but I think, and this was like a long time ago. Well, like not like 2016ish.
That was a long time ago.
It was, but she was. I think she was saying like, if I wanted insurance, like I could go get. I don't know. It was weird, but it was just like, how do? At that time, I knew nothing about. Even now, I knew nothing about getting insurance without having like a job, if that like a traditional job. So, well, that kind of defeats my point.
I mean, you can just say it if you want to.
I was just saying like if I came across $100,000, I would still want to work so that I could have
that. Let me just say this. The only reason why I know that is because I am an entrepreneur.
Oh, okay.
Because I have worked for designers and things like that where I was not necessarily a W-2 or W-4 employee. So I have to have all that because I don't work. Because even now I don't work, but I still have insurance. So that's some things you kind of learn as you go. That's just a part of being an entrepreneur or a business owner in general.
I'm not a business owner.
Yeah. Not yet. Yeah.
But yeah, that was basically my point.
But even with $100,000 in today's world,
that's not a lot.
No, not at all. Like not at all. You will run through that very quickly. Yeah, especially let me say this: if you live in a nobody town, you can probably live a good life with that, or it may last a long time, but. Not in the city.
Not in Houston.
It'll last you maybe 2 years if you're playing it right. 3 years.
The way I have, I'm not gonna put my personal business out there.
Yeah. Okay. Don't do that.
We've been keeping a lot of secrets. We keep saying stuff and be like, nah, we're not gonna say it.
I just think some things should be kept to oneself. Like you don't always have to.
No, for real.
I don't think everybody needs to know everything you're thinking.
Facts.
And I think that's okay if you shut up.
It is very okay. Like
yeah, most people want to keep talking.
If you're watching this, you need to shut up. Not to be rude. I really am a nice person.
Like no one needs to know everything you're thinking. No one needs to know everything you feel. No one needs to know your opinion about everything. Sometimes you just be like, oh, okay.
Facts.
Next. What's next?
But yeah. So going back to, we pretty much recapped the whole season 2, which I'm glad we did that. But
I thought we were getting
do you know I do that a lot? I do that a lot. Like people always think so. Like Sid the singer.
Oh yeah.
Do you know her? No, I don't know her, but I met her.
Me too. We was there together.
Well, no, me and Amari had met her at her solo concert too.
Childish.
And she was about to I had took a picture with her, and she was about to give me a hug, but I was like already walking away because I thought we were done, and everybody was like, "Oh," and I was like, "Oh my God, no." Like I do that a lot. Like I wasn't trying to diss her. I just I'd be like, okay, the moment's over, walk away. Like I'm that type of person. Like I be in my head too much.
Yeah, honestly. I was gonna say, is that to make sure you don't do nothing stupid? Like you're not sitting there.
Probably.
I'm gonna sit there and linger.
I don't know.
It would depend on the artist. It really depends on the artist.
It does depend on the artist.
Yeah.
But I forgot what I was gonna say.
It's okay. You just my.
I didn't mean to dish your high five, but I was gonna ask you. So remember when I thought the Wonder Years was titled The Wonder Years because like life was so great.
Mm-hmm.
So if that would have been the reason why it was called that, what would your Wonder Years be? Or have they, or do you think they're not there? No, what have you, like, so the best years of your life so far, like when things were so great so far? Because you're very young.
I am very
Young. You're very young. We keep saying we old. We're not old.
Okay, so to interpretation. It would actually be college. It'll be, it'll be my sophomore. So 2015 to 2019 would have been the Wonder years. Like, after that, it's been great. It's been all right, you know, but I think that, but I also don't think mine are here yet.
Yeah, same. I don't think mine are here either, but 2012 was like a great year. Like, I just remember, like,
oh yeah, I just got a job. I was making money.
I wasn't doing any of that. I was in you were in
I
high
was
school,
in high school too.
But like, I was just like being foolish, like doing whatever I wanted. Like, I remember I was really close with Alexia. She had a car. We would go everywhere in her car. And then I learned how to drive. And then I had a car. I didn't go everywhere in my car, but like,
and then those parties during the summer, the kickback part, XY.
I didn't go to any of those.
Oh.
But I just remember having a very fun time. Like, I just remember like being so carefree. Like I don't remember doing any homework. I don't remember paying attention to school. I remember I had a lot of I had a lot of class with my friends and we just laugh it up. Like, I just remember having fun. I was cute in 2012 too. I was cute. I was cute.
2012, what was that? I was alive.
I'm
just kidding. No, I just got a job. I was making money. That was my first time ever making a lot of money.
And like 2015 for me too. Like, I had moved into my apartment with my roommates, my older roommates. That was pretty fun.
Oh, yeah.
That was fun.
Yeah.
2016 was fun too, but I feel like 2015 was more fun. I don't know.
Yeah, so far those would be the one.
Well, no, the first. So like the freshman year part of 2015 was hard. It was very sad for me. It's hard, but the sophomore year part, that was fun.
It was good. Actually, I didn't like my freshman year either.
I liked my freshman year, but it was just that particular moment.
I didn't like my freshman year too much. Yeah, there was a lot of realization that year. Like, yeah, there was a lot of realization that year. Keep going.
That was like my only question. I don't know.
Yeah, I think they have not come yet. I think they will be here shortly.
Shortly.
I think shortly.
Mm.
You know when things feel different. So things just feel a little different. So I think they're coming.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I'm excited to witness it.
I'm excited too. You let me know when we there.
What are you? Well, yeah.
Because sometimes I'd be like, okay, what's next? Like, I just like we did. You like that too, though. Like, we'll do something about, okay, so what's next? Like, we'll be ready to move on to the very next thing. Like, that's not important.
Yeah.
We don't always know how to live in the moment.
Facts.
Yeah. We do that a lot.
I think I do it though because the recent accomplishments that I have had. Well, first of all, those accomplishments have been surrounded by sadness. But other than that, like, yes, they're accomplishments, and this could be like a down side to it, or like it could be me that's like making it not as big as what it is, if that makes sense. But like, I see, like, I know exactly what I want, and because it's not that, I feel like the accomplishment isn't as
significant.
Yeah. So I honestly need to stop doing that because every accomplishment is an accomplishment and it should be treated as such. So yeah, like you said, we need to just live in the moment, basically. I don't know. I don't know. I make things way more complicated than they should.
I think we all do. I think that's a human trait, is to make things more complicated. It could be black and white and we just like, but what if it's always a what if. So I think that like living in them, which y'all are good at, stopping somebody and being like, no, this is important.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think school is important to be cheering about. I think I just need to get it done. And I can cheer
Well,
after.
as a person who has received a master's degree and knows how hard it is,
Mm-hmm.
it is an accomplishment.
But I haven't received it.
Okay, but you're
Like,
trying.
Okay, then.
You're trying, and once you receive it, because you're going to,
Mm-hmm.
you're going to
Say that.
because there are people who have started.
I ain't got no choice.
Exactly, there are people who have started and
Yeah.
didn't finish,
Mm-hmm.
and that goes for undergrad too.
Mhm.
So you've already completed that chapter.
Mm-hmm.
So this next chapter, which you're going to complete because I know who you are
Mhm.
and I know how hard you work.
You going?
Once you get there, you're gonna look back and be like, yeah, this is an accomplishment because look what I had to go through to get here.
Mm. And it's a lot already, yo.
Yeah, and it's only been 1 week, and
Yeah.
we're gonna talk about it when we turn this off.
Oh, okay.
But yeah,
Yeah, we definitely have to live in. I think that's our whole little friend group. Probably should learn to live in the moment and take our accomplishments as they are, So yeah, I think they're coming, and it's gonna be exciting when it comes.
it will be, and it's gonna be exciting when we put this episode out, and it's gonna be exciting to see all the feedback because I was very excited about the feedback from the first episode. Like, I am so thankful and grateful for all of you that tuned in and followed my page. And yeah, like I said the last time, there will be more to come.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you for watching or listening, and we hope to see you back.